Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here, back at it with yet another juicy fan-requested video, of course. We're gonna jump in and cover the brand new weapon just because every single day in my comment section, people ask me, Zaf, is a brand new FORES'S Wish a meta-defining win weapon, and does it replace the Stormbringer? So, in this video, let's jump in, let's cover every single advancement just because when it comes to the A3 mark, we do get a 40% permanent damage increase amount, which is huge, but I'll explain why the Stormbringer might just be a bit better based on the buffs it does provide as well. So I'm going to cover this weapon, cover the Stormbringer, and cover when to use this weapon, of course. But also don't forget to redeem your free codes for thousands of Essence Zone Gold and also Manpower Extracts by supporting us yet again. The supporter season was reset, so jump in, press that button, and scroll down, press that, press yes to support us once more. That we get all the brand new codes sent to you a few hours after sporting. You have to wait, they're sent to your My page, you scroll down all the way to receive benefits, that's where the codes will go. We have 2 codes right now with a bunch more coming out, so don't wait, support us. You want to get those benefits, but also a huge shout out to Mr. M from the first comment to our last video. Here is your shout, bro, and enjoy that juicy Discord roll, of course. Alright, so when it comes to brand new weapon, we're going to cover every single effect and advancement, and do drop a like if you want to see more videos like this. I know people want to see weapon reviews, so I'm not too sure if everyone actually does, so let me know down in the comment section and drop a like, of course. But when it comes to brand new weapon, the base effect is very strong and very easy to pull off. When the user uses their core attack and it hits, it grants the wish effect, which is a 20% damage increase amount. But I do want to mention one thing very quickly. This is increased damage dealt. It's not an increase to the target's damage taken, which are 2 different buffs, which I'll cover later on, of course. The other buff is actually better just because it is a bit more rare. When it comes to hunters, when it comes to artifacts, their stats, and also their passives, we do get this buff pretty often, but I'll cover that. We also have to consider one thing when it comes to weapon and the wish effect. When using the weapon's main skill, the Wintry Song, it actually removes the 20% buff, the wish effect, which is not that great. So we get the buff applied after using a core attack, then we use a skill and the buff goes away. Not ideal, but do not worry. Watch this. When it comes to the A1 advancement, we spawn in with a 100% core gauge bonus, so we get the wish effect instantly. But that's not all. When it comes to this effect right here, the wish effect is enhanced. So when we use Wintry Song, as usual, the effect is gone, but we do get a 100% chance to activate our core attack yet again. It does have a cooldown, but do not worry, watch this. So we use our core attack, we get the wish bonus, then we use a skill, then the then the effect is gone. It's kind of funny, but then the core attack comes back up yet again, so the effect gets applied once more. So the buff is permanent, the wish effect is always going to be there, but then we have the attach effect, which kind of puts in another variable. Watch this. So when the user's core attack hits, it resets the cooldown of Wintry Song, the main skill, with a cooldown of 20 seconds, that's all. Yeah, I've been playing this game for 9 hours, okay? We're doing a lot of testing lately, so I want to make sure I release quality videos. But as I was saying, of course, when we use a core attack, it resets the cooldown of our main skill. So that bonus is pretty interesting, but we have to consider, if we use a skill yet again, that the wish effect is being removed. So this weapon is all about timings and cycling, right? Your skills, your core attack, so keep that in mind. You want to use a skill with a bit of purpose. So we use a skill, our core attack comes up, the skill comes up yet again, and the core attack would come up, but remember, the cooldown is 20 seconds on the reset, so we have to time it perfectly. We obviously won't be able to potentially use the skill yet again, just because the wish effect will be removed. So keep that in mind. We have to really consider when to use our skills, of course. But as usual, A2, we get a 10% win elemental damage bonus, and when it comes to A3, things start to get very crazy. The wish effect is enhanced by 20%, giving us a now 40% increase to our damage dealt, which is huge, honestly. But also, the user's core attack deals additional damage equal to 500% after attack to the first target, so overall pretty strong. But that's not all. When the Wintry Song hits, we also activate the Root Dispersion effect, which deals additional damage equal to 100% of the user attack to targets in a wide range. That's pretty good. And also when the Root Dispersion does activate, it inflicts the poison effect on the hit targets, which does deal a decent amount of damage, well not too much, dealing 50% of the user's attack every 3 seconds, not too bad, but the duration is 3 seconds, so we do get around 500% attack every 30 seconds, which does help. But this effect right here, decreasing the target's recovery rate by 70%, so it can be used on Yogg. But I mean, we have our hunters right now when it comes to Chaw, both Chaws. They do of course reduce healing, but still, if you need like an alternative, if you need a strong weapon, this weapon can be the weapon we use on Yogg. Not too bad, interesting to say the least. So it is a viable weapon in a sense, but you have to remember, when it comes to resets, when it comes to losing Wish effect, we have to consider every single variable when it comes to our timing of our skills and our core attacks. And A4, same thing, we do get a 20% cooldown reduction on the main skill, pretty much common for every single weapon out there. But A5, not too bad. It increases the weapon skill damage by 50%, and also the damage of root dispersion increases by 150%, so not too bad. For a free weapon, it is quite powerful, giving us effects we generally want to see, but again, the timing is key to maintain that 40% increased damage amount, which is giant. That's quite big. We usually don't get amounts that high. It's usually like, what, 20%, 30% max, right? So 40% is big, but I do want to mention, in comparison to the Stormbringer, it might not be as good just because the Stormbringer has a very specific buff. When it comes to bonus right here, let me show you. The passives are good for the Stormbringer, and it is a meta-defining weapon just based on this alone right over here, the Tempest Mark. It gives us a different bonus, remember? This increases damage taken on the target by 10%, stacking up to 2 times. So this bonus is very, very rare. That's why skills like this right here, when it comes to armor break, vacuum, wave boom, that's why this is so good. It gives us one of the rarest buffs out there, increasing the target's damage taken by 17% at the Transcendent mark, which is a multiplier to our damage increase amount, which is huge. So that's why, again, skills like this, weapons like a Stormbringer, and hunters like Libora. Remember, when it comes to Libora, she is so good for the guild boss just because the charm effect, 15% damage taken increase to the target, it's so darn good. So when it comes to the FORES'S Wish, although it is a very good weapon, we have so many sources when it comes to damage increases, right? Right here, damage increase. We also have damage increase on artifacts like the, let me show you here, the Obsidian set, oops, wrong button. The Obsidian set right over here. If I pull it up, let me see, Hunter here, boom. Obsidian set, giving us a damage deal increase by 60%, right? So all these buffs do apply normally, but we do want damage taken increase on the target too, to multiply our damage deal increase amount, which is giant. We want that coming in, so that's why the Stormbringer is not being replaced, but the FORES'S Wish is still very good. It's not a bad weapon. The Stormbringer, although it's better, maybe we can use alongside the FORES'S Wish to, I don't know, get some brand new combos in. That can honestly work where we don't need a DKD anymore, but we'll see. The Demon King's Dagger is very, very strong, so, I mean, we can't count it out just yet. Demon King's Dagger is insane weapon. Probably one of the best weapons in the game, especially when you partner with the Stormbringer, but anyways, I digress. The FORES'S Wish is definitely a good free play weapon, giving us buffs we do need, but it's not going to replace any win weapon right now, at least not in my eyes. Maybe it can replace a DKD as an alternative, but not as a replacement. So, although the weapon is good, you want to get it, but it's not going to be like a banger weapon like our normal SSR weapon, so keep that in mind. Free weapons are sometimes good, but they're not going to be absolutely game-breaking, meta-defining, but it is usable. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and be sure to subscribe as well. I want to know if you want to see more videos like this, but don't forget to jump in and support us yet again. If you want a bunch of free codes sent directly to you, you do not want to miss out. We have codes for thousands of Essence Stones and Map Extract. We're getting 6 more codes coming out. You do not want to miss, of course. But on that note, this is your Code King Zaf signing out. See you in the next video, of course.